very heavy rain and strong gusty winds. When we came here to set up this shot, the wind was kind of bracing you. You had to like stand up against the wind. It was whipping things around down here. So they had to space out a lot of the planes this morning. They still haven't caught up. As of right now, Boston Logan not reporting any rain delays or any delays in their air travel, but we do expect it as that rain starts to move up into the north and the east into tonight. Maria?
And, you know, on the heels of all that, Sam, we're tracking the cool down because it is coming, and we can trace it all the way back across the west. So it's going to take a couple days, but it is coming through the weekend. See that area of low pressure? See the cold front? It's on the move. So let's give you a day-by-day progression here. So for today, Great Falls, you're in that cool spot. By tomorrow, we're hitting up Rapid City, Des Moines, Minneapolis. By the time Friday into Saturday rolls around, now we've got Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Columbus. What are we talking here at this point? Anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees below average. And yes, by Sunday, New York, Boston, Buffalo, Providence, all in on it. That means some areas won't get out of the 40s for high temperatures. It is going to be that chilly. Along with that, we'll be tracking some lake effect snow potentially. So here are the numbers, crunching them for you. Minneapolis today, 71. Tomorrow, 54. Now for you, Friday, Chicago, your warmer day, because by Saturday you're just at 50. That's more in line with average highs for mid-November. And New York, your turn comes Sunday with your high of just 53. 13 minutes past the hour right now.
Yeah, Reagan Medji in this morning for Ana Ritos Rodriguez to bring you your news, and truly all eyes on Bermuda.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're going to start with. The strongest Atlantic hurricane in at least 3 years is heading straight for Bermuda, like we've been following all day. Right now, Hurricane Gonzalo is a Category 4 storm with sustained winds of 140 miles an hour. The international airport in Bermuda will likely close tonight and then remain closed through Saturday. Airlines and the cruise industry is spending today getting their equipment out of the area. Now, what about the ships and the planes and the boats? Well, the ships will head out to sea to ride out the storm. Then the planes and the boats that cannot be moved, they will be tied down. Dallas County will decide today whether to declare a state of emergency as they deal with the third Ebola diagnosis. Now, what does that mean? Basically, the declaration would free up money and other resources. The second nurse just diagnosed with Ebola, 29-year-old Amber Vinson, now in Atlanta for treatment. Airport screenings for Ebola begin today at 4 more airports. Jot them down: Chicago O'Hare, Newark, Dulles, and Atlanta. They begin screenings today. What about JFK? Well, they began Saturday. 150 people travel from West Africa to the U.S. every single day. Those are your headlines for the half hour. Back to you guys, sitting right next to me.
All right, Reagan, thank you very much. I like that. 14 minutes past the hour. Winter, it's coming. What could it be? Rough for some folks? It was in Boston last season, right? How old man winter and all the storms that we could see this year, it's going to be playing out.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
Lowe's presents How to Say Goodbye to 1993 Forever.
Goodbye.
Hurry into Lowe's and get Stainmaster Carpet installed free by Thanksgiving.
Fatherhood. Lesson number 1.
Deep sea delight.
Pregnant wives have late-night cravings.
The ice cream, please.
Lesson number 2.
Thank you.
Make sure you get her ice cream in a cup with a lid.
That's why you want accident forgiveness from Allstate. It keeps your rates from going up just because of an accident. Plus, when you switch today, you could save up to 10% more on your auto policy.
Just a few more ways. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 866-532-0707 now.
Who says desirable can't also be responsible? With 46 standard safety features, the Lexus RX is proof that fun can be good for you. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Zantac Heartburn Alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far, far worse.
Sunday night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
You're driving along, having a perfectly nice day, when out of nowhere a pickup truck slams into your brand new car. 1 second, it wasn't there, and the next second, boom, you had your first accident. Now you have to make your first claim. So you talk to your insurance company, and boom, you're blindsided for a second time. They won't give you enough money to replace your brand new car. Don't those people know you're already shaken up?
Liberty Mutual's new car replacement will pay for the entire value of your car, plus depreciation. Call 1-888-731-2166. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Switch to Liberty Mutual Insurance and you could save up to $423. Call Liberty Mutual for a free quote today at 1-888-731-2166. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
And now, at 1-800-967-2350. The savings could really add up.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by LL Bean. 100% satisfaction guaranteed and free shipping every day.
Making jackets that are built to perform anywhere is hard work. And at LL Bean, we take our job very seriously. Guaranteed quality, no matter what you're up against. From LL Bean.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nearly a foot of snow west of Indianapolis. Downtown, we've had 9 inches and counting.
Very dangerous weather, so much so that the National Weather Service is actually calling it life-threateningly cold.
Snowfall totals already across Plymouth County as much as 9 inches.
So this is going to be a quick-moving system, so I'm a little concerned about travel for the area.
Add another cup of coffee to the list here. I'm sorry to do that to you, but that was just a look at some of the winter storms that we went through in the last season. Ion, one of those tough ones. And now we're not too far away from thinking about a brand new winter season. And this front may be the one that has people starting to think, yep, we're really in fall and we're working our way toward winter. Let's get back to the lab with Tom Nizzle and, of course, Mike Bettis. And guys, what's to come with this season?
Everyone wants to know that, it seems like, when winter comes around. No one really asks, hey, what's the spring outlook? What's the fall outlook? They always want to know what winter's going to bring. Tom's here to kind of lay it out for us. One thing you're always looking at regardless are the temperature forecasts.
Yeah, we are, and that's what we have just hot and off the press. This is the Weather Channel's temperature forecast for that winter time frame, December January and into February.
Last winter was brutally cold in so many places. What do you see the temperatures doing in the coming months?
I think we're going to see a little bit of a change in the pattern of that temperature. In the west, in particular, we're going to stay with warmer than normal temperatures for the winter. That is what we are forecasting. But in the east, it's going to be a little bit different. In fact, going toward the eastern seaboard, I see more of a trend in the second half of the winter, Mike, for colder than normal.
So maybe a later onset to the cooler temperatures, which may correlate to a later big events than early big events, but you can't necessarily pinpoint specific ones.
Right, but overall it looks like that second half of that winter is really going to lock in across the east, and there's a lot of things that we look at to come up with that type of forecast.
One that you were talking about was snowpack that's already there, places like Eurasia, and what that could mean for the U.S.
Yeah, relatively new research here. Judah Cohen's done a tremendous amount of research on this, and it's actually, you can see that image of the snowpack in Eurasia. It is the buildup of snowpack on a daily basis in the October timeframe that has a good correlation to what can happen in the east.
It's all interrelated somehow, right?
Yeah.
So we have to look at all these things individually to come up with one big forecast. Also, that big blocking high becomes an issue.
Yes, and that snowpack can relate to blocking in the atmosphere. If we develop what we see here, a Greenland block, what that does is it locks that trough in across the eastern U.S., and that ensures a cold flow of Arctic polar air coming down across the eastern part of the country, and that is going to be a switch that may be flipped right after the new year. So we'll watch that carefully, and as we see, we put all this together, and that's what gives us that temperature forecast in that December, January temperature time, or February time frame, in particular the cold in the east.
I want to ask you about something else, Tom, that's made big news in the last 24 hours. The blizzard conditions we've had in the Himalayas, and we've had death of some hikers there, unfortunately. And you've seen that, though, similar in the U.S. You said it reminded you of Superstorm Sandy.
Certainly an analogy on a smaller scale, smaller mountains, but Sandy not only produced all of that tremendous damage along the northeast coast, but picked up 3 feet of snow in the Appalachians from that storm.
So what we're talking about is tropical cyclone Hudhud that made landfall last week in India, and then the moisture from that rolling its way through the country of India, and then it made its way into Nepal. So the problem was the elevation, truly, because we have big elevation changes, and what that meant in the Himalayas was as soon as we threw that moisture right into elevation, and Annapurna, by the way, where a lot of the hikers were, elevation more than 26,000 feet. So obviously the temperatures are cold enough. This is one of the highest peaks in the entire world, and so that's where we had the snow, the wind, the blizzard conditions, and they're still unaccounted for 70 different hikers. They don't know if they're actually on these mountains right now or they evacuated, but a huge story playing out right now in the Himalayas. This is their hiking season. It's the tail end of it, Maria. Usually October ends the hiking season and the mountain climbing season, but unfortunately they were done in by tropical cyclone.
My goodness, Mike, thank you. 24 minutes past the hour. Nasty day for many of us with the showers in the northeast. We're tracking their exit, but where the cold's going to be moving in.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing, but Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
So I was a head chef at 24. I won Best New Restaurant in the country at 31. I've published cookbooks. I've been on TV. I've relied on people every step of the way. I still do. I have to. So staying connected to those people, that's what makes me feel accomplished. They're people I connect with, that I'd sit at a table with. These are the people that I ride with every day.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
Your adventurous side is waiting. Your relaxing side is calling. Your Let's Do It All side has arrived. And an unforgettable Disney vacation is all within your reach. And right now, you can create a 7-day package, including a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room and theme park tickets for as little as $78 per person per day for a family of 4. So come on, show your Disney side this year at the place where dreams come true.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get 6 months special financing on purchases of $199 or more. Trust the boys to get you there.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Flag like this, on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Sunday nights, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Good morning at 30 minutes past the hour. You've got some gray skies, a little bit of mist and drizzle, and a whipping wind that comes in behind the heavy rain in the New England area. We're live here at the Staten Island Ferry Terminal as folks get off the Staten Island Ferry, come across in here. They head into the South Ferry subway station, spread out into New York to get started on their busy day today. And the rain is basically pushing a little bit north and east of where we are right now. Let's show you a line of what this rain is exactly doing. Your airport schedules, by the way, we've got a little bit of a delay. We're down to about 40 minutes at LaGuardia in New York. Had it up to a little bit over an hour earlier this morning, so they've made up a little time. The radar will show you all this moisture that's training over the eastern end of Long Island. It'll continue to hit that coastal Connecticut area and run straight up into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. This will slowly sweep east, so Boston, if you think you're out of it, by the evening hours, you are not. This is a slow mover. And so most of the rain is just going directly north. That line is traveling east. It'll take some time by 9 or 10 o'clock tonight to get it off the eastern end of Boston and off the Cape as well. Maria, Mike, I know we're watching all this tropical activity. We got a lot to catch up on.
It is a lot, Sam. And, you know, we have, of course, Gonzalo. Let's head over to the Pacific, where we want to keep an eye on Tropical Storm Ana. Now, Obviously, the Big Island of Hawaii is keeping a very close eye on it. Here's the latest stat. 60-mile-per-hour maximum winds. It is moving to the west at about 10 miles per hour as of the latest advisory. We still have the tropical storm watches up for the Big Island of Hawaii as it continues its trek off to the west. We do expect in the next 24 to 36 hours that they could be looking at tropical storm force winds at the very least. Here is the forecast. Forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane by tomorrow evening as it approaches the islands, and you can see remains a tropical storm as it continues north and west through the weekend. Here are the latest advisories up. Tropical storm watch in yellow includes the Big Island of Hawaii. That is it so far, but as you might remember, just 9 weeks ago, the Big Island of Hawaii was slammed by Hurricane Iselle, and now residents are preparing for another storm. Tropical Storm Ana is bearing down on that same region. Director of Disaster Services, Erin Huey, spoke with us about the mood of the tourists and the residents there and how they are preparing for Ana.
I think for the state of Hawaii, we have had a very busy season, not just hurricane season, but disaster season. And I think people are getting concerned. They are, feeling a bit weary, but everyone's taking this very seriously. I mean, it's a very serious storm. I think for tourists, be prepared, be aware, make sure you're listening to local emergency managers, and then, talk to your hotel. Everybody should have a plan in place.
Now, complicating matters, the governor of Hawaii recently declared a state of emergency on the Big Island due to eruption of Kilauea, the volcano there, where lava could threaten evacuation plans should Ana cause flooding this weekend.
No major impact right now, but we are watching as it approaches the roadway, potential evacuation routes, and making sure that those populations and communities that are close to that area are continue to stay aware of the status of the volcano. The tourists that we're working with and the state, when we've engaged, we're encouraging everyone to have PDC's Disaster Alert app.
And indeed, you can download the Pacific Disaster Center's Disaster Alert app at www.pdc.org. It is free and available for both the iPhone and the Android.
Now we look to the Atlantic and we have Hurricane Gonzalo, which is a completely different animal, Carl, than what we have with Ana. This is a Category 4 that could do some serious damage to the island of Bermuda.
It's a very intense storm. It looks like it is going to be heading for the island, and so we are talking about perhaps very serious impacts there in Bermuda. The last time that happened was 2003 with Fabian, which caused $300 million in damage when it passed just to the west of Bermuda. In fact, here is the track of Fabian. You notice that it's just west of that island there, and this is exactly what this storm may do, and it may be as strong. Right now, it's a Category 4 hurricane, 140-mile-per-hour wind. We think it will weaken a bit. Perhaps it will be a Category 3 as it nears Bermuda, and that's most likely going to be around the middle of the day tomorrow. So conditions going downhill tomorrow morning, getting very bad going into the middle of the day in the afternoon, and then beginning to taper off by late afternoon and into the evening, most likely. Hurricane warnings in effect now, so preparations really should be rushed to completion at this point. And we're getting our first visible pictures of the storm, and look at the structure of that thing. Very well defined eye there. You notice the high clouds are spreading out very nicely in all directions. It's not being sheared. So as we have said already this morning, there's really nothing holding it back at this point.
And right toward Bermuda it goes, and a lot of confidence in the track of where this thing heads.
Exactly, that's right.
And we spoke earlier to storm tracker Jim Eds, and one of our own, Dr. Peter Neely, who works here at the Weather Channel, our vice president of our Global Forecast Center, is there. He was there in Bermuda last Sunday when Tropical Storm Faye struck there, and they're now bracing for Hurricane Gonzalo. He joins us on the phone. Peter, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. I remember talking to you about Faye. How's the mood like now as we wait for Gonzalo?
So there's certainly a bit of anxiety, but I would say it's a confident anxiety. I think people here, a lot of them remember Fabian and feel that they'll be prepared for Gonzalo.
So I think a lot of people, like you said, will remember Fabian. That was back in 2003, but just a few days ago we had Tropical Storm Faye. That did some damage. Have you gotten around the island, or have they been able to kind of clean up for that one and get ready for this next one?
So it is kind of an odd mix of preparations for Gonzalo and still cleanup from Faye going on. The cleanup from Faye is important because there is a lot of debris that is lying around, and that debris could become airborne and become missiles or otherwise exacerbate the damage that we would otherwise get from Gonzalo. So a lot of people are spending time cleaning up while at the same time trying to get ready for Gonzalo and do the normal things that one would do.
Now, you were not there for business. This was your vacation. Now you had the tropical storm and now a major hurricane potentially for you bearing down there. What are your plans? What are you going to be doing over the next 24, 36 hours?
Well, I'm going to try to stay up tonight as much as I can, try to keep track of the storm. Fundamentally at this point, a business and vacation become sort of one and the same. This is meteorology at its sort of finest from a professional point of view. But we're fundamentally just going to be tracking the storm and making sure we're staying safe.
All right, Dr. Peter Neely in Bermuda for us this morning. We'll be thinking of you, our colleague, of course. And, not to make light of it, but it is kind of a meteorologist's dream vacation. I mean, 2 systems in 1 week.
You think he's kind of hit the lottery when it comes to the tropics here, right? Obviously, a lot of people that go there for vacation are feeling the complete opposite. That's why we always recommend this time of year hurricane insurance for your trips, because it's in this instance, it would pay off.
Right.
So, all right, a lot more to come for us this morning on the show. It's a cool, wet week in the Northeast, but will you be able to cool through the weekend? We're going to go to California now to find out from Crystal Egger, who's going to join us with what your forecast could be for the West Coast, including San Francisco to LA to San Diego.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier Comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,450 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Introducing Dance All You Want bladder leak protection from the experts in feminine protection. New Always Discreet underwear for sensitive bladders. Only Always Discreet underwear has soft, dual leak guard barriers to help stop leaks where they happen most. Plus, a discreet fit that hugs your curves. You barely feel it. New Always Discreet. Now bladder leaks can feel like no big deal. Because, hey, pee happens. Visit alwaysdiscreet.com for coupons and your free sample.
If you have Medicare Part D, you could be at the corner of, I'm throwing away money, and I had no idea. Well, Walgreens has your back. Our expert pharmacists make it easy for you to save on your prescriptions, so you can keep your money where it belongs. Swing by Walgreens, where you could save even more with Medicare prescription copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage
or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points. Only at bestwestern.com.
This is Gordon. Downtown for a sales call. West Side for a presentation. Meeting after meeting after meeting. That's why Gordon stops at Exxon and Mobil for fuels that help his engine run cleaner, smoother, and with better fuel economy. So he can make it to the meeting that matters most. Gordon is energy. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
You are looking live right now at the island of Bermuda, where a hurricane warning is currently in effect. People living there being told to prepare for the worst. Stock up on food and supplies. Make sure you're completing your home preparations and business preparations today. The government is also closing offices today and canceling schools so that everyone can focus on getting ready for a Category 4 hurricane. That's Gonzalo.
A lot of people talking about Fabian back in 2003. It took many days for the airport to reopen after that. So this is something that we're looking at. You got to prepare now because you might be in there for a long time.
All the cruise lines have hightailed it out of there, so no cruise lines left. That's good news. And they've increased their number of airplane flights out of Bermuda. Hopefully get everyone out of there once to get out. So.
All right. Well, back stateside, a little bit of a different story here as we get you through the next couple days. Looking at the 7-day forecast, our focus today will be the cold front that's actually kind of guiding Gonzalo away from the East Coast. It's still bringing rainfall today. Boston, New York, you know it. You're feeling it now. Back through Pittsburgh. It's the cooler showers that'll eventually be impacting the area as we get in through tomorrow. But already watching the temperature dive here across the Midwest. It'll eventually make its way to the Northeast. Minneapolis tomorrow just 55 degrees after seeing a high temperature closer to 70 today. By Saturday, it's now getting closer to that interior Northeast. Notice those showers. Would not be surprised to see maybe a little bit of snow mixed in there. By Sunday, the full-on coolness is in place. Boston just 52. You know there are going to be spots there in the Northeast and New England that won't get out of the 40s. Here's Monday. Most of the country pretty quiet, but we do still have a series of little disturbances coming in. That's going to bring showers still to Detroit, Cleveland as well. By Tuesday, it's back into New York and Boston on the light side. The midsection nice and dry Tuesday and into Wednesday. Now let's talk about snow into the Northwest. Got to check out this live shot. This is from South Lake Tahoe in California. Not the case yesterday. But we are going to be pretty unsettled here as we get in through the next few days into the Northwest, and a lot of areas that means rain. So you're getting on the rain train, the storm train. The upper level low you see on the top of your screen there, it's helping to drive a lot of that Pacific moisture right into the Pacific Northwest. So what that means, it's not going to be one day of rain, probably not even two. It's going to be more than that. But here's our first one. As you see with our enhanced satellite picture, the little bit of a spin, all of that moisture like a fire hose right into the Pacific Northwest, getting in its way. Seattle for you. That means some more showers for you. Right now, mainly just cloudy skies. You have temperatures that are into the 50s, and we take you through the rest of the day. Look at all that rain offshore. Here it comes, moving on in. Temperatures climbing into the 60s today, so occasional showers for you, Seattle. More like rain, though, as we get from Friday and into Saturday. Very Seattle-ish. All right, 45 minutes past the hour. Crystal Egger joins us live from Los Angeles, and I know, Crystal, we're looking for a chance of rain even into Northern California this week.
Yes. Good morning, Maria. We don't get much here in Southern California, but at least we get the cool down. We're in and out of some clouds. It finally feels like fall in Los Angeles. Let me show you what to expect for the northern part of the state. Here's San Francisco. A live look shows the cooler temps, but we're just in that break where more rain is on the way Friday into Saturday. It's going to be light rain. Every drop helps us out here in California. Obviously, we're in a severe drought, unprecedented numbers here, 58% exceptional drought. That's up from 36% just 3 months ago. So much red on this map. I can't wait to erase some of that. We are going to stay below average for temperatures in Northern California today and again tomorrow. And then we'll look for some lighter rain coming in. Always a good news when we're in the middle of our fire season to see this kind of pattern set up. And Maria, in Los Angeles, we're actually wearing sweaters and boots this morning, which is a nice change. We always look forward to that.
We always look forward to hearing that news from you. Crystal Egger live for us in Los Angeles. Appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow. You know, the countdown to the weekend starts right now. Why not? Let's get you how weather will impact your plans. Let's hit up Pittsburgh with the showers, St. Louis sunshine, but we're calling for cloudy and cool in Detroit. So why not, while you're in Pittsburgh and it's raining, check those smoke detectors. 'Tis the season. Make sure you're prepared. St. Louis, get some of that yard work done since you'll be on the dry side. In Detroit, check out those window drafts. You know, now is the time of year to start winterizing everything, so get those drafts fixed and save yourself some bucks.
It all comes down to the Benjamins. Is what it's
all comes down to the Benjamins. It's the worst when you hear feel that draft, and you're just like, oh, it was warm about a second ago. No,
not anymore. All right, a lot more to come this morning, including your tropical update, the very latest on Gonzalo and Ana.
This program brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Here's a weekend project idea that will help you do more and save more. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear. Low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's Chevy Truck Month, time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Crest presents Crest 3D White Strips versus Whitening Trace.
These trays feel a little loose. It's kind of hard to shop.
The white strips really grip. Look at that. Crest Supreme Flex Fit White Strips grip to your teeth and whiten as well as a $500 professional treatment. Crest White Strips, the way to whiten.
Life lessons with Ziploc. The school supply list included 150 cat's eye marbles. If this bag breaks, a great school year could quickly slip away. That's not happening. Life needs Ziploc. S.C. Johnson.
It was the best day. It was the best day. It was the best day. It was the best day because of you.
We make a great pair.
Huh?
Progressive and the great outdoors. We make a great pair.
Watching the NFL on Xfinity from Comcast is like having the best seat in the house on game day. Because NFL Red Zone gives you a front row seat to the biggest plays around the league, including every touchdown from every game Sunday afternoons, live, all on one channel. Get NFL Red Zone from NFL Network when you add the sports entertainment package for just $4.99 more a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Visit Comcast.com/NFL today.
Maintaining cultural identity and self-sufficiency is part of the American dream. But for many American Indian communities, that self-sufficiency has been lost or destroyed. First Nations Development Institute believes Native peoples hold the ingenuity to ensure the sustainable economic, spiritual, and cultural well-being of their communities. They just need the chance to do it in their own way. Learn more at firstnations.org/dream.
Really add up. Call Humana now at 1-866-680-4971.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. An all-new season starts Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
8 minutes for the top of the hour, now into the tropics. Check out this picture tweeted out yesterday from the International Space Station. You can see Hurricane Gonzalo as they passed right on over it. The sheer size of it, huge, obviously. Just an amazing sight from space. Now, Mike and Carl have the latest on the track of Hurricane Gonzalo. Guys, good morning.
Good morning to you, Maria. Boy, this is a dangerous hurricane. There's no question about that. Up to a Category 4 now. And even if it does some weakening before it impacts Bermuda, it may still be a major hurricane.
This is one of those cases where you get that sinking feeling because you know it's going to be very bad indeed. I mean, everything is converging that way. It really looks like it. You've got an incredibly strong storm that's likely to be very strong. It's most likely going to pass either right over the island or very close to it. So this could be like 2003 when we had Fabian, and that caused $300 million worth of damage.
It seems like there are a lot of instances, if you can get far enough away from the eye, maybe even just 50 miles, if that, then you generally are maybe in tropical storm force winds and you're in pretty good shape. Right. But this may be close enough that the whole island gets hurricane force winds and for hours on end.
Exactly. You know, there's an outside chance that it could take the farthest edges of that track and we wouldn't get as much impact, but that's not where the modeling is. It's really converging on this idea of it being just west of the island. We'll take a look at that. Here's the satellite picture, and it's incredibly well formed right now. Very well defined eye. You can see the big ring of thunderstorms around that eye. You notice the high clouds fanning out here in almost all the quadrants of the storm, indicating a favorable upper level environment, and that should continue for a while yet.
You were talking about the forecast track on this, and there seems to be some pretty good confidence, and the models are all in really tight alignment here, which gives us that feeling that yes, this is indeed going to happen.
Exactly. When you see a little more spacing between these tracks and there's less confidence when they're all sort of clustered in one area, then we know that we're talking about a pretty high confidence forecast, especially given the timing now that we're only about 24 hours out from this thing moving in. So here's the forecast track from the Hurricane Center, and this reflects that guidance, showing the center line that's just west of Bermuda. That would put them in the very worst of the wind for a long period of time. Could very well be a Category 3 storm at the time, and it looks like the middle of the day. That's the sort of target area. So I want to talk about a couple of the models here. Now, the GFS model is painted painting probably not the best picture of the storm right now. It's showing a very large area of winds, even though it's a more compact storm. So I think the GFS is probably overplaying the size of this area of winds a little bit here, but it is showing the strongest winds getting in around the middle of the day tomorrow. The European model, a little bit slower than that, showing those strong winds coming in more towards early afternoon, more like 2 p.m., but still showing that we've got very intense winds coming in there. And we'll take a look at that European model through the course of the morning. And actually, here it is right here. And so there's the European showing that, again, very strong area of wind. So you're talking about a long period of time. This would come in the early afternoon, but then go on through the afternoon and even into the evening hours. So it would be a prolonged period of intense wind in this case.
So we've got a little over 24 hours to go before the meat of the system gets there. It's going to be a tough one for sure. And we know right now, Maria, hurricane warnings in effect for Bermuda. So you have to complete your preparations today or you won't be able to any longer. The good news about Ana, by the way, in the Atlantic, it's weakened some, still could bring some impact to the Hawaiian Islands. Carl's going to have more on that in our next hour. Maria.
All right, Mike, thanks. We're going to keep our eyes on Bermuda. Obviously, residents there hoping to keep ahead of Hurricane Gonzalo. Still picking up the pieces, though, after Faye hit last weekend. Joining us now from Bermuda is ZBM TV reporter Diane Brewer. And Diane, thank you for getting up with us this morning. We were talking about Faye just happening last weekend. How's the cleanup for you after Faye left?
Hi, Maria. Yes, the Tropical Storm Faye was much stronger than we anticipated. So, as I think you've heard in previous reports, we've been working furiously to clean up, get power restored, and people have been, dealing with a lot of downed trees and some loss of roofs.
Give us the mood there. You've been in Bermuda for about 20 years. Have you seen a lot of storms? What's the mood leading up to this one?
Yeah, I mean, I have been here 20 years, that's right. And before that, I was in Boca Raton, Florida. And so I've been through many hurricanes. The closest, I guess the closest one to this one, as you've said on the station, is Fabian, which I went through in Bermuda in 2003. So people are definitely taking it seriously. A lot of supplies are sold out. People are boarding up. And our EMO, Emergency Measure Services here, has been very good about letting people know to expect the worst, prepare for the worst, and obviously hope for better, but definitely being taken seriously.
Okay, Diane Brewer, resident and also TV reporter. I know you're going to be keeping viewers there abreast of the situation, and we will be thinking of you. Stay safe out there. So obviously the Weather Channel 2, we're going to be keeping an eye on the storm because now we're in that time frame.
We're in that where you've got to be nervous. Interesting to see all the boats that were taken out of there.
Yeah, everybody's preparing and getting things ready because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
All right, we hope you have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now in the power hour of Wake Up with Al, prepare for a gloomy Thursday here across the Northeast as we track heavy rain and the threat for flooding. Find out how long before we finally dry out.
Also, we're double fisting in the tropics. We have double tropical trouble brewing as Bermuda braces for a direct hit from Hurricane Gonzalo. The East Coast will feel the effects too, and Hawaii prepares for Tropical Storm Ana. Carl Parker breaks down the track for both storms straight ahead.
Plus, storm chasing can be dangerous business, but it also provides life-saving, valuable information. We're going to catch up with student storm chasers here at SUNY Oswego. Coming up right now on the #1 morning show on television with weather, Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
It is Thursday, October 16th, 2014. Welcome to Wake Up with Al, a special split edition. I'm Al Roker. I'm here at SUNY Oswego, my alma mater. Graduated here in '76. They actually named the TV studio after me. They had nobody else really of any note, so that gives you an idea. We really got to up the ante here at Oswego. But in the meantime, there's a great meteorology department here as well, churning out future meteorologists. It could be the next Stephanie Abrams. You never know. Meantime, let's get to the top 3 stories you need to get out the door. All right, show you what we've got going on, and it is busy. Of course, we've got a gloomy, wet day ahead here in the Northeast, the I-95 corridor. Showers and thunderstorms causing big problems. Tropical double trouble. We've got Gonzalo in the east, Ana in the west, Bermuda under the gun from Gonzalo, and Hawaiian Islands threatened by Ana. And we've got a cool start in the Northeast. You see temperatures right now, not too bad for highs, mid-70s to the low 80s. But then look at what happens tomorrow. That front moves through and boom, temperatures take a big hit before rebounding slightly. All right, let's get to today's top stories. The rain in the Northeast. Jen Carfagno's got the latest.
All right, Al. So we're starting off actually on a mild morning in the Northeast compared to those temps you just talked about, but a rainy one. Atlantic City finally getting a little brightening to the sky. Portland, Maine, though, these clouds are just thickening. And here comes the rain again. As they say, let's show you what it looks like right now. We've got a lot of rain out here, and it's been a tough commute. Anyone flying, we've had delays all morning long, and they continue with more than an hour-long delays at most of the major hubs. Plus, now the rain moving into Boston, coming in from the south to north. It's been a mess in southern Connecticut. I-95 through New Haven has been slow going here with the rain. And look at the eastern end of Long Island. We just are not catching a break. There is an urban flood advisory here, and some small streams and creeks may be flooding with the kind of rain we are dealing with here. We've had more than an inch already, could get another inch out of it. And you can see the path of this rain coming from south to north, just pumping in a lot of Atlantic moisture. So there's that heavy rain potential through at least the afternoon here. It's been so slowly to move out, and we'll finally get it to move out of a good chunk of the Northeast, at least tonight. And then overnight, we will see parts of Maine hanging on to the rain. It's not until tomorrow that we can get this rain out of here completely. Now, let's take a look at the weather for you in Boston, because the rain and the worst of it's still yet to come. We've got the showers coming in through this afternoon. Some of that rain will be heavy. It could actually be pretty windy at times as well. And so tonight that continues. And after a bout of heavy rain this afternoon and additional heavy rain tonight, that could lead to some flooding problems. The rainfall amounts could be more than 2 to 3 inches, especially up into Maine. All right, so we switch gears from this heavy rain in the Northeast to a tropical rain and a very powerful storm, Gonzalo. We'll go to Carl Parker for more on that.
Jen, very difficult to see right now how this is not going to have a major impact in Bermuda. And let's take a look at the latest from the Hurricane Center. We're looking at a Category 4 storm with winds of 140 miles per hour. That's an incredibly powerful storm. It is a smaller storm. Right now, the area of strongest winds about 2/3 of the size of the average hurricane, and it's now moving north at 9 miles per hour. We do expect that that area of strong winds is going to be expanding somewhat as it lifts along to the north. Now, we're getting our first visible satellite pictures of the day, and that is a very well-formed storm right there. Very well-defined eye. You can see the bursting thunderstorms right around the eye and the eye wall. Notice the higher clouds, those thinner clouds really fanning out in almost all directions, indicating a really favorable environment aloft. That's not going to change much as this storm is moving north. So we'll probably see some weakening, but we could be looking at a Category 3 storm coming either right over or very close to Bermuda. The best thinking right now is that it's going to be just west of Bermuda, and that would actually put Bermuda in the strongest winds perhaps for several hours. So this could could be comparable to Fabian in 2003 in terms of impact. And here are a look at the hurricane force wind probabilities. Right now, National Hurricane Center putting them in 80% there in Bermuda. So this is going to have a very hard hit. Here's some of the models to show you. The GFS model indicating that area of strong winds coming in around the middle of the day tomorrow. So conditions going downhill during the morning. European model just a little bit slower, showing it coming in around early afternoon. Stephanie, over to you.
All right, Carl, and the reason it is worst case scenario is because you have the forward speed and also the winds on that side going in the same direction. So you have that extra push on the east side opposed to the west side. All right, let's get you up to speed on this morning's headlines. It was a rough day for commuters and pedestrians on Wednesday as storms moved across Washington, D.C., bringing torrential rain, leaving the capital drenched. Washington Dulles reported a record 1.3 inches of rain, breaking the old record of 0.93 set in 1970. Meanwhile, preparations underway in Bermuda right now for Hurricane Gonzalo headed to the island. Shoppers are doing all they can to make sure they have what they need ahead of the storm. Bermuda's private schools are closed today, and government offices and public schools are closed Friday. Residents are being advised to prepare for up to 27 hours of tropical conditions starting late today. And U.S. astronauts replaced a failed electrical unit on the International Space Station yesterday, restoring full power to the facility. Only 7 of the 8 solar power channels had been working since spring. That sounds bad, but I guess they were okay. Astronauts had to wait on the repairs because of a year-long hiatus in non-emergency spacewalks by NASA. This was the second spacewalk in 2 weeks, and officials at Cape Canaveral say it was a success. As if it's not dark enough as it is out there already, right? Okay, let's take you into the Midwest with Jen, where we just have a few lingering spits of rain.
You know, we have a couple of showers out there, Steph, but it's the kind of day where you don't know whether to have your umbrella or not here. You need it. It's off and on rain. Cleveland, again, we have rain today. Down towards Cincinnati, we've got some rain showers again today. Chicago, we don't. That's some good news. Finally, we're going to see some brightening skies today in Chicago. And I'll tell you what, here, I know this map isn't showing it, but I will tell you that by this afternoon, you will see that bright sunshine in Chicago. It has been 4 days. Here we go. I promise you, 10 o'clock, I know it's still cloudy out here, but we'll see the skies breaking up with the clouds and the sun popping out. Look at that, 4 o'clock. Here we go. Sun coming our way. Finally, Chicago. Back to you.
That's right. Absolutely, Jen. Well, we are going to turn and take our eyes and look toward the Pacific with Anna. What are emergency workers getting ready there for, and how can they do it when they have no money to prepare? Details coming up.
Fact. Every time you take Advil liquid gels, you're taking the pain reliever that works faster on tough pain than extra strength Tylenol. And not only faster, stronger too. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free, instantly. Plus, get up to $80 off select Cooper and Hankook tires. Trust the boys to get you there.
Your adventurous side is waiting. Your relaxing side is calling. Your Let's Do It All side has arrived. And an unforgettable Disney vacation is all within your reach. And right now, you can create a 7-day package, including a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room and theme park tickets for as little as $78 per person per day for a family of 4. So come on, show your Disney side this year at the place where dreams come true.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
You're looking at Nashville, Tennessee right now, where it's a cool start to the morning in the Music City. So you might want to put some vinyl on the record player while you're getting ready and get fired up to walk out the door and have to deal with all that rain, get in a good mood. Now, did you know that according to MusicCity.com, Visit Music City, I should say, United Record, a vinyl pressing plant in downtown Nashville, is one of only 4 remaining vinyl manufacturers in the nation? Do the kids even know what vinyl is these days? I can't believe I'm old enough to say that. Okay, let's have a look at our lunchtime temperatures here if you're thinking about going outside. Atlanta, Memphis, Jackson, Charlotte, all in the 60s, 70s south of there. Our highs today are going to be just about average, a little below for some of us, and then we actually rebound. We see our highs tomorrow getting back up there. A cool start to the morning again tomorrow, 40s and 50s. Of course, right along the coast will be in the 60s. But in the afternoon hours, that's when our temperatures will pop back up into the 70s and also into the 80s. Ow.
Steph, thanks so much. You know, a number of the kids back here say they have vinyl. How many? All these kids, they all have vinyl. So it's making a big comeback. Well, we now turn to Tropical Storm Ana. The governor of Hawaii proclaiming a state of emergency as the island braces. They are getting ready for what could be a Category 1 hurricane by the time it reaches the Big Island. We go to the phone now. Shelly Kunishige is the public information officer for Hawaii Emergency Management, joining us now live. And Ms. Kunishige, thank you so much for joining us. You guys got hit with Iselle back in August, and that really kind of decimated your disaster fund. So what are you using to pay for getting ready for Ana?
Unfortunately, we're probably going to have to tap into the state's general funds. So money is going to come from budgets that were previously earmarked for other programs. But we're taking this very seriously, and we're looking to do all the emergency protective measures necessary. And, of course, we did get some supplemental federal aid for Iselle, so hopefully we'll see that federal reimbursement soon.
Ms. Kunishige, I know you've got to get folks ready. Are people taking this seriously? Are residents taking this seriously?
From what we've seen out there on the shelves in the stores, they're taking it seriously and going out and getting supplies. And we, of course, encourage them to review their insurance plans and get their homes and families ready.
And what about the tourists who are on the island, people either getting ready to come to the island or folks who want to get off the island? Are you working with the airlines to try to facilitate this? What's going on?
We've been working with the Hawaii Tourism Authority, and they're starting to get their messaging to their stakeholders out. But there are several airlines that have already waived change fees, so Hawaiian Air and Island Air being 2 of them that we know of. So we just encourage folks, if they're worried, to contact their airline and find out what their policies are going to be.
All right, Shelly Kunishige, thank you so much with Hawaii's Disaster Emergency Management Agency. Thank you so much. Let's send it back down to Jen.
All right, well, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, Al. So we are going to be looking for, of course, a lot of rain in the Northeast today. This is the system we've been tracking all week long since Monday. It's still bringing rain to the east. We still have this upper level low behind it, and that's going to bring some showers today and tomorrow across portions of the Midwest. Then we keep an eye on another couple of systems that track right through the Midwest and Northeast, bringing some cooler times to the area right through the weekend. The South looks great and sunny and warm into the weekend. And you know what today is? Today is October 16th. It is the Great Shakeout. So in about 2 minutes, we're going to have a worldwide drill, actually, to drop, take cover, and hold on. Speaking of earthquake safety. So again, that's at 10:16 on October 16th, the Great Shakeout. Steph, we'll send it back to you.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
All right, we got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond. Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 8.
When the game's on the line,
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
the NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Fatherhood. Lesson number 1.
Deep sea delight.
Pregnant wives have late night cravings.
The ice cream, please.
Lesson number 2. Make sure you get her ice cream in a cup with a lid.
That's why you want accident forgiveness from Allstate. It keeps your rates from going up just because of an accident. Plus, when you switch today, you could save up to 10% more on your auto policy.
Just a few more ways. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 866-532-0707 now.
This week on America's Morning Headquarters, going green sounds great, but can you do it and stay high tech? Gadget guru Jen Jolly shows us the tools we...
But we're almost there. If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB. Again? But we just went. Ask your doctor about Myrbetriq, Mirabegron, to treat the OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage. Seriously? It's time to go to the doctor. Myrbetriq is the first and only medicine in its class for OAB.
Myrbetriq may increase your blood pressure. Myrbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Myrbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications. So tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Myrbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
If your overactive bladder is calling the shots, ask your doctor about Myrbetriq. Visit mybladder.com to see if you're eligible for a year's worth of savings on Myrbetriq.
Humana now at 1-800-967-2350. The savings could really add up.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by LL Bean. 100% satisfaction guaranteed and free shipping every day.
Making jackets that are built to perform anywhere is hard work. And at LL Bean, we take our job very seriously. Guaranteed quality, no matter what you're up against. From LL Bean.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Minutes past the hour, time now for your tropical update. Let's go to Carl Parker, who's in the weather lab with more on Tropical Storm Ana and what we can expect for Hawaii. And Carl, it looks like this is going to go south of the Big Island and then hit those more western islands. But will we feel the effects there on the Big Island?
Yeah, I think we will get some effects, certainly some gusty wind and some heavier rain and some larger swells. But now it appears that the worst of this storm is going to stay south of the Big Island. So that's been a positive trend. And the storm has also been struggling a bit. And right now it's a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm, and there's the latest from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. It's moving west at 10 miles per hour. You notice that the thunderstorm activity really has died off as compared to yesterday near the core of that storm, which is right in here. We are seeing a little bursting of storms most recently, but I think there is some drier air getting involved, and that's indicated by this orange and red shading, and that can tend to make the thunderstorms die off just for a little bit, and then they sometimes will resurge. Now, here's a look at what's going on with the modeling. And again, most of the guidance telling us that the storm is going to pass to the south of the Big Island and then perhaps move up to the north and to the west. So the forecast track does reflect that. There's still a chance that it could have more direct impacts on the Big Island, but it does look like it's going to be south and then would likely be weakening. Now, we could see more direct impacts, say, in Oahu, and that's where most Hawaiians live. That's where Honolulu is. Could be a strong tropical storm at that time, and we know from Isel that even a strong tropical storm can cause a lot of damage in Hawaii because there are so many trees there, and we can get a significant amount of power outages. So certainly there will be concerns here, and we'll continue to watch this. But right now we want to get out to Al Roker, who is at SUNY Oswego. And Al, it's not going to be very sunny at SUNY, and I bet you've only heard that about 1,000 times before.
Yeah, but you know, it just gets funnier, Carl. Thank you. I appreciate it. Believe me. Hey, I'm joined right now by the president of the college, Dr. Deborah Stanley. I'm also joined by student meteorologist. We've got Molly Matat and Andrew Janiszewski.
Correct. Yeah.
These guys take part in this program that actually has students going out chasing storms. And Dr. Stanley, let me ask you first, before you let students do this, you had to really have to think about this pretty carefully to send students out in dangerous weather conditions.
Well, I suppose, but discovery is what it's all about. I mean, students who are brave and want to take on this kind of curriculum, they're really interested in the intellectual development of how does this happen, especially with all the disruptive influences in weather these days, clear across the globe.
And in fact, Molly, you saw this firsthand when you guys went out storm chasing.
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely an experience, I'll say that. We got to see weather firsthand. I've never seen so much sky in my life. We saw 18 states in the Midwest in 10 days, and there were no obstructions, no buildings, and we got to see storms in their full glory. It was absolutely amazing.
Andrew, was there any point during this where you maybe were a little nervous, a little scared?
Yeah, but it's all part of the experience because you figure the people living in the plains, you know, have to go through that as well. And of course, we're in it for the science, but it's, you know, there's that aspect of it too, which is just makes the trip all the greater the experience.
What was the worst stuff you guys saw?
We saw one tornado.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of supercells, and we saw a pretty nasty hailstorm.
The tornado was in New Mexico too. It was beautiful in the middle of the desert.
That's right. And in fact, this, Dr. Stanley, you actually import these programs not just around the country, but nationwide. I mean, internationally.
Internationally, actually. If you look at all of the flags that are flying on the ceiling here, we bring students from around the globe, everywhere around the globe, and we send our students out, and they follow you and get their perspective about how to treat people, how to go out into the world from what you do as well, Al.
Well, thank you. And Molly, I understand you are the chief meteorologist here at WTOP
Yes,
television?
at the Al Roker's television studio, I am.
Wow. So you want to be Stephanie Abrams when you grow up?
You know, I would really enjoy that someday to be Stephanie Abrams. I would love to be just like her.
Or even Jen Carfagno.
Any one
of
absolutely,
them. That's
absolutely.
Right. You do not want to be me, because then you got to lose your hair and gain about 100
hey, you know what?
pounds.
If I get to do the weather, I'll take it.
All right. Thanks so much. Guys, thank you. It's always good to see you. And speaking of course, storm chasing, we got big storms in the Northeast. We're going to look at that and bring you everything you need to.
I heard you have a tough clog.
I only have 10 minutes.
I only need 7.
Liquid Plumber Urgent Clear penetrates the toughest clogs with 2 fast-acting gels in only 7 minutes, guaranteed, baby.
Discover card. Hey, so I'm looking at my bill and my FICO credit score is on here. We give you your FICO score each month for free. Awesome sauce. Wow. The only person I know that says that is Lisa. Julie?
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Get the IT card and see your FICO credit score.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building. Turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
At CVS Health, we took a deep breath and made the decision to quit selling cigarettes in our CVS pharmacies. Now we invite smokers to quit too with our comprehensive program. We just want to help everyone, everywhere, breathe a little easier. Introducing CVS Health, because health is everything.
If you take multiple medications, a dry mouth can be a common side effect. That's why there's Biotene. It comes in oral rinse, spray, or gel, so there's moisturizing relief for everyone. Biotene, for people who suffer from dry mouth.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points. Only at bestwestern.com.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
It's just freaking me out.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel,
This is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real?
Yeah, that's real. Wicked Weather Sundays with strangest weather on Earth and American Super Natural. Every Sunday night at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear. Low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild Weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
No warning, nothing.
Sound like I guess you'd say a freight train.
Flash flooding and look at that.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning, everybody. Thursday, October 16, 2014, 30 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. We're live, SUNY Oswego. We're in the Al Roker television studio. I graduated here from 76. It's a fully operational, professional operation. Look at this. They've got a teleprompter running. We've got the anchors, these kids learning how to become future broadcasters. Earlier, you met Molly Matat. She is their meteorologist. They even got a green screen going on so they can do all their weather stuff. Steph, everything they need. Back in the day when I was here, Steph, we had nothing like this. It was black and white cameras, and that was about it. But again, these kids know exactly what's going on and bring you the latest in news and weather, just like you are bringing us the latest in news and weather every day here on Wake Up with Al.
Al, you have a piece of paper, where you draw on, or maybe the magnets. You and also our winter weather expert, Tom Nizzle, who also went to Oswego. Boy, what those walls would say if they could talk out. What would they say about your experience there?
They would say I was pretty dull and I didn't do very much, and it's amazing that I've gotten as far as I have. These are very bright kids, but in the meantime, let's get to our top three, everything we need to get you out the door. Let's show you what we've got. Starting off in the Northeast, man, what a mess. We're talking about gloomy, wet weather ahead, some heavy downpours. We're dealing with maybe some flooding, especially through New England. We're going to be watching that. Tropical double trouble, as we've been telling you all morning. We've got Gonzalo in the Atlantic taking aim, a Category 4 storm onto Bermuda. We've got Ana making its way toward the big island of Hawaii. We're watching that. And we've got a cool start to the Northeast coming up tomorrow. Temperatures today, not so bad. We're going to be looking at temperatures in the mid-60s in Atlanta, low 80s down in New Orleans. But look at these temperatures for lows tomorrow morning. We're talking upper 40s to the mid-50s. So really a chilly start. That's going to be a real shock to the system in the Southeast. For more on today's top story, let's go back to Atlanta and Jen.
All right, Al, thank you for that. And the heads up on those temperatures tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, it's been a warm, balmy morning in New York City and Boston. Your temperatures have been in the upper 60s, your dew points in the 60s. It feels like it should rain, and it is raining in New York City. It's about to rain in Boston. And let me show you what we are dealing with out here thanks to this whole big storm system that we have been tracking all week long. Right now, it's bringing some lighter rain showers at the moment to the New York City area. Delays at the airports running about an hour, then delays at LaGuardia. We're running 90-minute delays in Teterboro, and down towards Philly, we also have some delays that we're dealing with. Watch where the rain is going. The worst of the rain affecting us on eastern Long Island. The LIE 95 has been a mess with rain this morning in southern Connecticut through Rhode Island, and then you head up into Boston and you can see just a couple of showers have been coming down, but look at what's still yet to come. This whole thing has to shift still yet into Boston, so we are yet to get the heaviest of rain in our area. Now we look at where we're going to be tracking all the rain today, and we got a big batch coming up, and this is tracking right to eastern Long Island, right into Connecticut. There are still some urban flood advisories across this area and some small stream concerns because of heavy rain here. We put this into motion though, and we finally inched this thing out of here, and that's the way it's been moving, like an inch at a time. It moves through Boston. By later on tonight, you'll finally push most of the rain out. It's in still Maine by the morning, but by later tomorrow, we'll get to push all of that out of Maine as well. Before it ends though, we're going to add another couple of inches here, especially up into southern New England, parts of Maine. 2 to 3 inches of rain are a possibility. So we go from the big system we've been tracking all week long across the lower 48 to the tropics. And Carl, we've got Gonzalo, we've got Ana, a lot to cover here in the tropics.
Yeah, that's right, Jen. And this is one of those cases where we feel that it's going to be pretty bad, unfortunately, in Bermuda. It really is starting to settle in that way in terms of the modeling. And here's a look at the latest from the Hurricane Center. The storm is now a Category 4 hurricane, 140-mile-per-hour winds. That's an incredibly dangerous storm. It's still on the smaller side, about 2/3 of the size of an average hurricane in terms of the core of strongest winds. And it's now moving north at 9 miles per hour. We're getting some visible images of the storm right now. We're still seeing a very well-defined eye, big ring of thunderstorms around that, very intense storms. Notice the higher clouds. See how they're fanning out in pretty much all directions. That's indicating a very favorable environment aloft, high pressure aloft. So there's really nothing that's holding the storm back right now. And we think that if it does weaken, it's going to be a slight weakening. Now, this is what I'm talking about as far as the models settling in. In terms of track, we're getting a lot of agreement. When you see these lines farther apart, that means the models are disagreeing more. And we tend to see that farther out in time. They tend to narrow in as you get closer in time. So we're now about a day away, and there's a tremendous amount of agreement about the idea of the center of this storm either coming right over Bermuda or moving just west of Bermuda. And that would be a worst case scenario for Bermuda. So here's the forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center, looking for possibly a Category 3 storm to come in probably from late morning through the middle of the day and into the afternoon tomorrow. And then it's going to begin to improve very late on Friday. But we're talking about a period of several hours of hurricane force winds. And here's a look at a couple of our models. This is the GFS model, probably a little bit too ambitious in terms of the size of the area of strong winds, but it starts to bring them in around the middle of the day tomorrow. The European model suggesting that by early afternoon, those winds really start to come in. And again, it could go on for several hours. So this could be an historic storm for Bermuda. We could be talking about a lot of damage there. Unfortunately, we'll have much more on that coming up at 50 minutes after the hour. Let's get to Stephanie now with the latest on the headlines.
It's time now for our MSNBC headlines, and joining us this morning is Betty Wynn. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. It's been a little while. Good morning, everybody. Right now, the second Texas nurse infected with Ebola is now in Atlanta being treated at Emory Hospital. And now 76 of Amber Vincent's colleagues might be put on the no-fly list as health officials monitor them for symptoms. We're also learning that Miss Vincent took a Frontier flight from Dallas to Cleveland to visit her family. The CDC okayed it after she reported a low-grade fever of 99.5. The plane she traveled on is at Cleveland Hopkins Airport, where it will be cleaned for a 4th time. Now to Hong Kong. More clashes this morning after pro-democracy protesters try to block the main road outside of a government office. Police once again used pepper spray to try to control the crowds. Tensions are mounting after a video surfaced showing 6 police officers beating a handcuffed protester 2 days ago. And the average holiday shopper is expected to spend, ready, $804 this year. That is a 5% rise over last year's $767. Experts say shoppers will be driven by bargains.
Jen, now over to you for the day ahead.
All right, Steph, thanks for that. Let's look at the Midwest, where we have needed our umbrellas every day now for 4 days in a row. And finally, we're getting to whittle away at the western edge, anyway, of the clouds. We have more sun again today in Minneapolis, Des Moines, Kansas City, just bright blue skies again today. St. Louis, us too. And Chicago, look at this, 4 or 5 o'clock, we finally break out with a couple of breaks in the clouds and some sunshine. We do keep the showers around today. Eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania. It's hit or miss. It's not all day, but there's a chance. And even in Indianapolis, I would say there's a chance of a sprinkle maybe out there about midday. But then after that, finally, we do get to clear out. And this is some clearing for good that we'll get into tomorrow as well, coming our way by later today. And that'll really help us out, get a little break from that dreary weather. Then we take you out here into the Northeast, where, of course, we have all of this rain that we're tracking. Let me time it for you hour by hour so you can plan your day. We've got that system bringing the rain through lunchtime and then through this evening rush hour home into Boston, into Maine. These other showers that we're tracking underneath the upper level low, that's going to be wrapping up here off and on right through the afternoon and early evening. All right, that's a look at your day ahead forecast. Up next, we got your weekly planner, and we're talking lunch. We got some sandwiches named after one of our very own.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Commode, potty, John, Lou, latrine, head, bog, the Oval Office, the porcelain throne, the toilet. No matter what you call it, Clorox has been trusted to keep it clean for nearly 100 years.
Man, these boneless chicken wings are great.
Yeah, I know, and I finally found myself a wingman.
You're going to use the wing as your wingman?
Yeah, for the ladies.
How is that going to help you at all?
It's going to make me irresistible.
Oh, right. Yeah, going to give you that certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais what?
Jenna.
Did she mention me by name, or was it just kind of like, was she just talking in general?
I said je ne sais quoi.
I know, but what did she say?
Be a wingman with new all-white meat boneless chicken wings in 3 flavors and save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
Yeah, I'm married. Does it matter? You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
Happy birthday!